Super Rugby Pacific, the home of end-to-end tries, outrageous skills, and some of the most electric rugby on the planet. From the raw power of the forwards to the flair of the backs, this season delivered entertainment in every round. But when it comes to fantasy rugby, who actually delivered the goods? In this video, we're breaking down the ultimate fantasy 15 of the season, built purely on Superbru fantasy stats. No hype, no headlines, just cold, hard statistical points. These are the players who consistently lit up the scoreboard for your fantasy team. Whether it was barnstorming runs, offloads, try assists, or defensive grit, we've analysed the total points, points per game, and positional value to bring you the best performing players from 1 to 15. So whether you're celebrating your league win or already planning your draft for next season, this is your definitive Super Rugby Pacific Fantasy Roundup. Before we look at the final 15 though, as we didn't have a wrap up of the FRG leagues in this week in Fantasy Rugby, let's take a look at how the leagues ended up for the Fantasy Rugby Geek leagues in both the official game and Superbru. So kicking off with the FRG league on the official game. And a huge congratulations goes to Cal7, who actually ended up winning the overall game. He took first place in the FRG league with a huge 10,069 points. Right behind Cal was friend of Fantasy Rugby Geek, Colm Talks Rugby. Colm did brilliantly. Again, he came second in the world overall, right behind Cal with 10,055 points. These were the only two teams in the whole league who got over 10,000 points. Then we've got Speed Mode, Laker Luca, Jack Sully 10, Reese's Piece, Aidan Collins Rugby, a load of flankers, Tidzy, and my team making up the top 10. So congratulations to Cal7 and commiserations to Colm, who was so close to taking it all. It was a different story in Superbru though. A big congratulations to Colm for winning the FRG League in Superbru this year. Colm absolutely flew. He ended up on 3,907 points to take the lead in the FRG League. Right behind him was H-Burr, then we got Yippee Try Yay, Frowdy, A Boy Named Stew, Eppins B Mac, Jake Jagger 96, American Blues, LM10, and Liza Lot making up the top 10. Well done to all of you. Absolutely brilliant season all around. Right, now let's get into the Fantasy 15, kicking off with the props. Kicking things off with our first prop is none other than the Brumbies, Alan Alatoa. Ala Alatoa was the top scoring prop on Superbru with 142.5 points. He also had the highest average points per game of any prop on Superbru with an average of 10.2 points per game. This was heavily down to his try scoring prowess with a huge 7 tries over the course of the season, an incredible achievement for a prop. Looking at the rest of the props, the rest of the field was quite a way behind Alan Alatoa, but in the end for my second prop, I went with the Crusaders to Mighty Williams. Williams was a consistent performer with 89 tackles and an impressive 4 tries over the course of the season. He should just continue to get better and better as the years go on. Honourable mention also goes to the Blues prop try machine, Marcel Renata, who delivered with the fantasy points from prop with a huge 5 tries. Okay, into the hookers, and our pick was the top scoring hooker in both Superbru and the official game, one of many Brumbies in the list. It's Billy Pollard. Pollard was the second highest try scorer in the league with 8 regular season tries in just 13 appearances. Not only that, but he was rock solid in defence with 107 tackles over the course of the season. Into the locks now, and our first second row was the top scoring lock in both Superbru and the official game. It's Tupu Vaa'i from the Chiefs. Vaa'i was a class act throughout, causing havoc in the line out, but also carrying hard, making a high volume of tackles with 97 in the league this season. But most notably, he was a genuine attacking threat with 6 tries and 2 assists over the course of the season. Next up, in the second row, with the highest average points per game in Superbru, is the Drewers' Itonia Waka. Frequently found out of position in the back row, Waka was a huge value option whenever he started. He made some big points returns from his attacking escapades, largely courtesy of 3 tries, 383 metres carried, and 7 line breaks. If he's categorised as a second row again next year, you definitely can't sleep on him. Into the back row, and one of the genuine players of the season. A new season, in a new shirt, it's Ardie Savea. Savea was unstoppable at the fulcrum of the Moana scrum this season and was the highest fantasy scoring back row in the official game. In all this season, he scored 7 tries, made 3 assists, won 20 turnovers, made 131 tackles, carried for 506 metres and made 7 line breaks. There was nothing on the rugby field that he couldn't do. Our next back row is one of the breakthrough stars of this season in Super Rugby, genuinely establishing himself as a force in the league this year. It's Christian Leo Willie. Leo Willie was the top scoring back row in Superbru this season, courtesy of a huge 180 tackles, 8 turnover wins, 3 tries, 507 metres carried and 6 line breaks. Wrapping up the back row is the overall top try scorer in Super Rugby this season and the back row with the highest average points per game in Superbru. It's the Force's try machine, Carlo Tizzano. Tizzano scored an insane 13 tries in 11 appearances for the Force this season, but it wasn't just tries that he delivered. He was equally a rock in defence with 194 tackles in 11 games, averaging over 17 tackles a match. An absolutely phenomenal season from an outstanding talent. Moving into the backs now, and our scrum half was a complete outlier in his position, and he was easily the top scoring scrum half both in Superbru and the official game, and he also had the top points per game in both games. Cam Roygaard. Coming off the back of a horrendous knee injury in 2024, Roygaard was back to his best in 2025 with 7 tries and 11 assists, as well as carrying for a huge 507 metres, way more than any other scrum half to watch in the league. He'll be one to watch for many years to come. Into the fly half position, and it really can only be one man. The overall top fantasy scorer and easily the highest points per game in the whole league, it's the one and only D-Mac. Damian McKenzie did everything this season. 11 regular season appearances, he scored 6 tries, assisted 5 tries, kicked 45 conversions, won 3 turnovers, carried for 586 metres, made 10 line breaks, made 9 offloads, and was second in the league for defenders beaten. D-Mac is just one of those guys. If he's playing, you just have to select him in your team. Taking the first centre spot in this team and coming in as the centre with the highest average points per game this season in Superbru is Joseph Suali'i. In his first season in rugby union, Suali'i mainly lined up at fullback, so he was a great out of position option for fantasy managers. He got hit by injury twice in the season, but when he played, he absolutely shone. In just 7 appearances, he scored 2 tries, made 3 try assists, carried for 537 metres, made 7 line breaks and 9 offloads. Considering he only played for half the season and scored this well, the potential is absolutely huge. Our second centre was one of the most consistent performers in midfield this season. It's Len Ikitau. In 12 appearances, he scored 8 tries, over a try every other game. He also made 69 tackles, 5 line breaks and carried for over 383 metres. He may not have hit the same headlines as the likes of Suali'i, but he was quietly a highly efficient fantasy performer. And there were quite a few options to consider in the centres, and honourable mentions go to Quinn Tupaia, Daniel Rona and Billy Proctor, all of whom racked up some highly impressive fantasy scores. Our first back 3 selection was the overall highest scoring back 3 on Superbru and the second highest back 3 in the official game. It's Sevu Reece. In 13 games in the regular season, Reece scored 8 tries and made 4 try assists, as well as 76 tackles, 13 line breaks and 730 metres carried. He also led the league in offloads with 25. Next up is the only player to carry for over 1,000 metres in Super Rugby this season, the Brumbies' Tom Wright. Wright led the league for carries by a mile, ending the regular season on 1,047 metres carried. He also got a try and made 9 try assists, as well as making 15 line breaks, which was the 3rd highest in the league. Far from a prolific try scorer, Wright made up to this with his outstanding all-round game. Last up is a player who had some injury absences this season, but when he played, he was always the picture of consistency. It's Will Jordan. In 11 regular season appearances, Jordan scored 7 tries, made 5 assists, carried for 675 metres and made 13 line breaks. After having missed the entire 2024 Super Rugby season due to injury, it was great to see him back fit and firing. Looking at the back 3, honourable mentions go to Caleb Tangitau, who was absolutely flying until his injury, Corey Toole, who made more line breaks than anyone, which helped to make him the highest scoring back 3 player in the official game, and Timothy Tavatavanawe, who had more defenders beaten, a total of 78, than any other player. Hopefully he'll be categorised correctly as a centre next year in both games. So a quick final recap of our Fantasy 15 for the 2025 Super Rugby Pacific season. Starting with the props, we've got Alan Alatoa, then we've got Tamaiti Williams in hooker, Billy Pollard. Into the second row, we've got Tupu Vai and Antonio Waka. Into the back row, Ardie Savea, Christian Leo Willie and Carlo Tizzano. Scrum half, Cam Roygaard. Fly half, Damian McKenzie. In the centres, we've got Joseph Suoli'i and Len Ikitau. And then in the back three, we've got Sevu Reece, Tom Wright and Will Jordan. And there you have it, the ultimate Super Rugby Pacific Fantasy 15 of the season. These are the players who didn't just light up the field, they racked up the points week in, week out. Whether they're flying under the radar or dominating the headlines, they delivered where it counted on your fantasy scoreboard. Have you got someone you think was robbed of a spot? Drop your shouts in the comments. I want to hear who made your Fantasy 15. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit like, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss a thing next fantasy season. And don't forget to bookmark this video when it's time to build your squad for next season. You'll thank yourself later.